Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video I will be teaching you how to play Chopin's Waltz Opus 64 number 2. The first thing that you should know is the C sharp minor scale, and it's like this. Knowing that scale is going to allow you to understand how Chopin came up with this melody. So let's say we have the first chord here and we have a C sharp minor. He does the inversion and another one here, the second inversion, and then he came up with this melody. He got rid of the C sharp and played G sharp to E. Two notes from it. Then the same chord, he's going to do the inversion here and adds the background. So he has two beats of this. So we have this. So you could play up to that point. Now next step will be, because we're in C sharp minor, we have this note on the bass. So we have this now. And we have covered the first measure. And he would do the same approach with the next one. The next one, from E he goes to D sharp. And what you have to understand that there is a D sharp chord on the scale, and we have this. He brings the D sharp on top, he gets rid of the G on the left hand, and he puts it up here. So he has this now. And now he has the root from the chord, so he punched this together, the D sharp below. So okay, that's the first two measures. Let's continue now. The next part is going to be a melody like this. And notice that he's still using the same scale with the addition of the B to create an ornament. Okay, it's very important you understand that. Now, he's going to go to the fifth tone of the scale and think a little bit about this chord, a G sharp 7. Now the F, he's going to keep it this way, and instead of playing this, he's going to add the F sharp to it from the chord each time he plays a note. Okay, and the next one will be the same, but resolving to C sharp minor. Now, so it's important you play this light. I'm going to explain in a second. And then the G sharp that we have, we do the inversion. And we do the same pattern. Together, rest, and we do that. So we have the two together here, and we do this. It's important that you put pedal on the bass all the time and then release. Some people like to put through the whole measure, but I don't do that, so I put on the bass and then let go of it. So let's say, okay, and then because we're in G sharp, we put the bass also here. So we have, that's it. The fingers I like, the long fingers on the black key, so I could leave the thumb out. I'll do this, 5, 2, 4. 2, 3, and then this. And now we're kind of going back to the C sharp minor, but we're going to use a diminished chord. We're going to use this chord. This chord. So he's going to still use the F sharp on the melody and here. But to explain the D below, gonna have this on the left hand. So we have this, tension, release. Together these two, and this. Now all that is left for us to do is add the C sharp. It's almost like he did the C sharp minor, he did a suspension, and then going back to C sharp minor. By lowering this note to the second degree, we have what we call an add 2, and then releasing it. So we have this now. So we have a little leap there. We don't have to move your hand much. And then we change it. So we have as a melody. We have as a harmony base, we have this. So all together. Okay, and this is important, two things. That you ring out the melody that is longer. So that means the notes that they have a dotted rhythm, like a dotted half note, you ring them out. In this case, the E, and then the release. The short notes, a little bit lighter. You need to know how to play long notes and short notes. Those are the short notes. Okay? The other thing is you could count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You could continue very rhythmical like that, or you could delay the 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's up to you. I think that rhythm matches here when we have the little rest. There. So we have do, re, ya, pa, ya. So we have. Now he's going to change the scale. He's going to go to an E major scale. And he's going to use these notes a little bit. That's what he does this. And if you look at the notes, that's an A major chord. It's on the... He's right there. So he does the inversion and he puts E and C sharp in it from that chord. Now, the E is going to double up on the bass. And also it's going to have E and A, the rest of the chord here. So he ended up with this. That's the same chord we discussed before. Diminished chord. So A major to D diminished, D sharp diminished with an E on the bass. So we have the E here. Think on this with the E. That's the harmony, very nice harmony. So still on E major. Now we're gonna have the short melody like this. And you see the flavor here, A, E. The E major scale. First you gotta get a sense of the melody like that. Then you could add notes from the harmony. So to this, let's say if we have an E major chord and we add the 7th note, an E7, let's place it here. So this D, he's going to take it. So we have, instead of doing that, he's going to add the D, the 7th degree, to add a little bit of tension to it. Notice, release and going there. The fingers are like 1, 3, 5, 1, 4, 2, 3, and going there. So if you think of the E major again, we put E on the bass, and part of the same chord split. So we have E, G, and E and G sharp. That's it. remember now to do the rest. So rest, and then here it has the flavor again of A major. So we have. Okay, so let's do this one. We add the D, but now we're gonna go to C sharp, and then you have the intervals from A major. Okay, left hand A bass, part of the harmony from the chord E and A. Remember that A major is like this, so we have this, and then going here. That would be again another suspended chord right there. By raising, see if we have A, we have the D, we do an A sus, what we call. So together will be like this. These two notes together. Rest. Notice the sound here a little bit diminished, but really it's a G sharp 7 here that we're gonna go to. So let's try to play it very slowly, these. One hand and then the other, and then let's continue. That's right hand, left hand. You could practice both hands separate. A major, E7. Now we are here. So let's review a little bit the melody here. We're going to have the A, what we call a chromatic scale. Think on the melody first. So 1, 2, and then it's gonna end up doing a chromatic scale later. But this is chromatic 2. So we have the chord here. We'll add a G and these two notes. Tension and release the G sharp. Da, da, e. Notice now here we are back to the same chord, C sharp minor. Let's do the chromatic scale first. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, and 4. So right hand. Chord again here from a B7. This is a B7 chord. Let's do the left hand. Bass note. We have those. So notice here that the important note is the G sharp. So you have to point to the note you're going to bring out and keep the other one flat. Da, 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 da. If you do it together, we get there. So let's do it from the G sharp. We get to the B7 now. Again, he arranged the notes this way. He parted the chord here. Now from here, I could give you the right hand. It's gonna repeat the G sharp there. Always 3, 2 when you do the ascending. So let's do it again. So G sharp, 3, 2, 3, 2 and G sharp again. 3, 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, then 2, 3. All the way down. And he's using the chromatic scale now. So for the bass line we have this, the E on below. And when it changes here, you could bring those out too. I know it's hard, but you could play like this at the beginning and then think a little bit, kind of bring the so. Sometimes it's true that when we practice this, sometimes one note sounds before the next, so you could be real careful. And then this chord. D sharp, and G sharp, and it goes back. Now if we play this very slowly, let's play left hand. Hold that E, rest, 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 1, 2, 3, and we go back. If we do it all together, the right hand melody together with the little harmony that he bring up here, we have these two notes together, together, together here, again to D sharp, and we go back to the beginning again. So let's talk a little bit about the melodies. Some of them are longer than others, so let's talk about this. So a little bit more volume here, less, short melody now, long, release, and again. This is E major, so we could change a little bit of color. Increase, increase, and you could run a little bit, going the. It doesn't take much effort. You have to be close to the keys. Little movements. And back. This part 2 is going to include the second part, slow part, with variations, and then the quicker part. At the beginning we played this. So what he's gonna do now is repeat the same, but without that. He's gonna go straight. And instead of coming all the way down here, he's gonna do a D sharp here. Closer. And for the most part it's the same. And I'm gonna play so you can see it, and then we'll get to the new little section that we have in this part. Now here is where the change begins. So we're gonna have an F, and we're gonna do a chromatic scale starting on A sharp. And that's all we have. Every other note you kind of go up, up, down, up, down. So that's it. We have the two measures for this line. And think about, like we discussed before, we have a C7 here that he double up the C sharp in it and only does this background. Then he's gonna go to F sharp major here, and that's it. So we have bass and chord. It's important for the pedal, you put the pedal on the first note and release on the 2 and the 3rd beat. When you do it together, we match, match, match again, by itself and match. That's it. This one, the first note, is a long note, so you have to hold it. So you could even hear it. I'm going to overemphasize so you can see it. It creates a nice voice against that D sharp, the dissonant interval. Let's continue now. So we have crescendo, release. Now here. Same dissonant intervals, D against C sharp, and we have this long note here, up and down, end of the line. The other thing is finger substitution. Once you do this, if you do the B, you want to keep holding it and substitute the 5th finger here. Left hand we have based on a B7. He's gonna get rid of these two notes because the D sharp is already here, and do A and B by itself. all together we have this. Now this left hand, then we go to E major, walking bass, and release. And notice that the walking bass, when you do da, da, you try to sing that da, da, chord and rest. If we do it at the same time, we get here to C sharp now, and we have the last line there, which is 2 measures. Once we play the C sharp, you have this, the same thing with an ornament there. So we go in C sharp, 4th finger, same finger there. Now left hand, we have a D diminished. He got rid of the F, put it below, and play this chord. Rest. And notice the D sharp, diminish, rest. If you group these notes, the G, C, and E, it gives you the same chord from before, the C sharp minor. These 2 notes is making a G sharp 7. And then we go back to C sharp minor. The reason is that I say each name is because if you have no idea what you're playing, you could start looking up and finding out more about chords. You could also let us know in the comments below if you would like a tutorial on chords, so that way you can understand this better, and that's the key to cut the time eventually. If we do it together now, every other note. Okay? If you want to practice, sometimes I like to practice these lines a little faster, so I might do one rhythm slow and fast. So it's just to see the bass quickly when it comes to it. If I do this, jump, jump. Sometimes when you do this, I do this right now, which it has the 2 thumbs crossing over, but you could also do, you could do that as long as you bring the melody in. For me, it doesn't create any problem, so I take it like this. To have the mental quickness to go below, you should practice to the bass. So that will make it easier eventually. So then try to play it. Crescendo, release, crescendo again. Try to play as musical as possible. Always the first beat is a little bit louder than the others. This is the background, don't forget. And it's important that you sometimes you play a little bit with the dissonances. Like this one, the E, the D sharp. Make sure you can hear each line. That's what I'm telling you to do here. Okay, next part. Now we have the quick section. So let's start working now with the quick section. What we have to think about it here is a little bit that the notes are the same from the C sharp minor scale, but he put it in this way. So we have here, we could think that's a chord that goes to A. And if, as a matter of fact, the one that is outlined is this chord, the G sharp 7. Now he's getting rid of the C and instead putting an A, which is on the scale. Yeah. Technically, it's not difficult. All you have to do is think that each time you play with the fourth finger is a weak finger, so we have to kind of lift a little bit the hand and also help it. That means I start up this movement. This movement helps me to have less effort on the same note. Then I play A little bit outside, and then because it's the thumb, I'm gonna go in. That's it. That's the movements you have. So down, up, and gradually go towards the thumb. The thumb is very short, so if you stay here, then you have to do all the sudden movements. So you have to go, as you play these three notes, you go gradually here. When you go to the next group, you rotate here, you close the thumb, and you throw this. Same here. Same movement as playing. So down, in. Same finger, always fourth finger on top. Here he put an accent, very good. When you do this, close the hand. Scale, and it starts over. Same movements, down, rotate, inside movement. So that's very important to do it right. So the other thing is that he wrote very well here to start louder. And that also tells you, okay, I could actually be comfortable when I play the first note, and then release. Release. Louder and release. Louder and release each time. Scale. And we have that. So if you maintain that you have to start loud, that you have to play A, that you have to go towards the thumb, that when you come back you close the thumb, it's easy. If you don't do this, then probably more difficult. If you play it at high speed, accent, and starts over again. Okay, that's all there is. The other thing that is important is, besides these two notes, right after you have outlined this chord, the G sharp 7. Here you have the C sharp minor. You have this kind of chord there in the middle, just the same as this. The A major. Kind of this chord emphasized F sharp minor with the D. It could be D sharp minor 7. We're going back to this chord, C sharp minor. Again, the G. Scale skipping. And got back again. And the same chords I outlined once again. The chord also helps to center the hand. See, I have the center. Scale. It starts like an A, but really it's like a D. That scale goes all the way up. Chromatic. Scale again. Chromatic. All the way up. And the interval left. So we have a scale. Now on G starts chromatic. On A starts the same scale. D now chromatic all the way to G, and we end up in C sharp. There are ways to study this. You could do accents. I demonstrate 4 measures, so emphasize the G. Every other note. And that's where the beat is gonna fall onto. Always fourth finger on the top. Fourth finger here. Again, same. Accents. Every other note. Now if you started on the first note loud, now you have to emphasize the other one because the other note got neglected, so it's not as strong, the grasping of the note, so you have to start loud. Opposite now. And so forth, you continue through the whole thing. Now the other rhythm that it helps for this, I think I will do, there are many rhythms, I'm just giving you the most useful ones. So you can start slow and quick. Always wait. If you have to do it slowly, do it like this. And then it starts over. We could do the opposite. Etc. You could do the whole line, and then maybe take it by groups. You could do groups of 3, like if it was a triplet, da, 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 da. And maybe take the whole group. The thing that is left for us to do is put the chords on the left hand. Now here, when you did this, we're going to put the same notes, D sharp, G sharp and C. We're going to put them here. And we're going to call that chord a G sharp major. So we have 1, 2, 3. Then we have C sharp minor, flipped, inverted, with the root always on below, and the 2, the 6 above. So G sharp, 7. That's why we have these 2. A major, F sharp minor. This is excuse me, this is just 1. Rest. C sharp minor, rest. C sharp 7, rest and go. C sharp minor. Same now. Rest. We have this chord here different, like a D major with an F sharp on the bass. Rest, 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 G. So those 2 last one, G sharp 7, C sharp minor, I'm back. When you start putting it together, you could start very slowly, every other note, just 1 measure. Just practice that, and then you go to the next one. Practice that alone, this one. Just group each measure. Next one. Same thing. If you got the other one before, you got this. B sharp, together, together, and together. The first thing that you should know is the D flat major scale, and it's like this. From that scale, Chopin is going to come up with this melody. Notice that the melody follows all the notes from the D flat major scale. Now if we have this melody at the beginning, F to F, now we could harmonize that with that D flat major chord, and it's like this. Now what he did on the left hand is flip these notes and have these 2 notes here. So we could play, and that's it. The last chord we will hold it because he made a slur with the next chord. So now we could add the bass from the same chord, so we're gonna add these notes. So we have this. Okay, and now we could count. So we count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's it. The next measure we have F to E flat. F is 2 pulses, so we have 1, 2, 3. Now this F is by itself. Then we play the chord from the left hand, and then here we'll do a D flat augmented like this. Now this chord is very simple. If you have a D flat major like this and you raise to A, we have a D flat augmented. Now if we flip it, we get this, and then he'll do just the bass D flat. So left hand for this section we have this. Okay, now together with the melody. And that's it. Now once we punch D flat here, we'll have these 2 notes on the left hand. And I want you to understand that that comes from the 6th chord, which is a B flat minor. Now if we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we got the chord B flat minor there, and what we'll do is flip it all the way. We get these 2 notes and the bass. So this measure is going to be the D flat and those 2, and all we play is on the second one of this, the D flat. To have an idea, let's play all those 3 measures together. F, and we are there on D flat with the B flat minor chord, 6th chord. Now we have this melody coming up. C, B flat, F, and G flat, and again we outline all the D flat major notes. The left hand is very interesting because we're gonna walk up to E flat minor here. So we do da, da, da. To put it together, we have the C, the B flat, the F, with the D, and G flat here. And we resolve the first melody, long melody. It takes 5 measures. So let's play it now, slowly. Okay, notice here that we play E flat and this. If you flip this note, you have this. But if you think of the 2 chord, that's that, we get an E flat minor. And that's what he does. So he put the E flat on the bass, and then that's his 2. There's something interesting on the left hand, that sometimes when we do 1, 2, 3, the 3rd pulse, we could grab that onto a little bit more because it has a slur to the next chord song. This one too. Here, also same process. Now let's play it all together up to there, and then we continue with the next phrase. So. That's it. Now next melody we're gonna have this. Maybe I tap a little bit with my foot. So notice that we're still outlining the same notes. See, we started here, and that's the new phrase. So learn those notes well. I notice that sometimes we count 2 here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and done. Left hand now. So we had this before it. Now we have gonna have the melody there, but we have this same chord again. We change it there, like a B major. Here. The diminished flavor, we walk again, same technique. And we get to the next melody. So let's do it one last time. So that's it. Let's do it all together. So very slowly we do it. So melody together now. Left together. Left and then right. Together here. C and E. And we reach there. Next melody comes in. So I'm going to play it very slowly all the way through. So try to bring that bass melody long note. Every other note match here, and we get to there. And we continue. Next melody now, we have the A flat, 2 beats. And now here, F. Sometimes you could play quick, but also you could do this, the A flat and then all quarter notes. I have 2 editions, one has the 8th note here and one has just quarter notes, so you pick what you like. I think I like the one with the 8th notes there, so. That. Now, chords for the left hand, because we are here, we have an A flat, we could also harmonize it with the 3rd chord, F minor. So we already had this F here, we have this. Now on the last one of those, we're going to add that A flat. So on this one, we're going to add, after that, we're going to add the B flat 7 chord here, and we're going to play these 2 together. Then we go back to E flat minor. And then we start a new phrase there. So let's do the left hand by itself all together. So F minor, B flat 7, E flat minor flipped, hold it, and that's it. If you do it together, we match here by itself, together now. Together, each note. And that's it. So remember that you could, like I mentioned before, you could change the value of the F. So we can do this. There. We get to the top and we release here. So we're gonna continue from D flat. So we have D flat, we have C, long note, quick note now, chromatic scale, and then 8th notes again. And we go back to the main theme. Now, remember this, up down movement, and also very quickly here, you could rod play a little bit, but not too much. They're very close together. I like 2-4-2. Okay, to put together the left hand, we're gonna do a D flat diminish, which he inverted and put the G on the bass, and there's these 2 notes. Then we go back to D flat in this way. Rest, A flat now, 7. Then D flat, and diminish. You can hear the sound there to go back to D flat. The diminished chord here, if you have a D flat, creates tension and usually resolves to the original key D flat. So let's try this together from D flat. So we have this quick note together by itself, A flat, chromatic, and then we go quicker here, ornament and A flat. And this will repeat again with different variations. I think it's important that we try to measure this with the metronome so you can have a sense of the rhythm. So Emphasize here, long note. Quick now. Minor, top, hold there. A flat 7. Now it's going to start over, so we have the A flat there, and we have the same chords. This, and all I want to show you is the notes that vary it. So maybe we do it all together because it's the same harmony, different notes on the right hand many times. So we have the A flat. These we already played. Same here. Now the D flat is the same, but it's precipitated a little bit sooner, and then we have the A. So let's do that again. So F like before, here, that's it. Now we're gonna have this turn. Now we're gonna have this. Okay, I did it pretty even, but we have 8 notes against 3, and then we have a triplet there. So we have this. Okay, that against this. Now to do it together, you start on the C, you match these 2 notes, match this one, and then the A flat with the E flat. Together here. Now we repeat. Now we add an ornament, and we match every other note here. Back to F minor, A flat on the top, B flat 7 from before, together here. Again the same chord, E flat minor with the E flat. Now here we're gonna change. We keep going up. G diminish. We match this, the C, and we have the same chromatic scale from before. And the next part, the faster part, begins again. Now this second part, I think it's important that we play it slowly with the metronome. All the harmonic changes are the same, and all it does is vary the melody a little bit and add ornaments. So let's play it. So. And then we start over. I hope this video was helpful, and if you enjoyed, subscribe. Also, thank you very much and all my supporters from Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee.